Good morning. Happy Saturday. I'm actually leaving for Seattle today. Currently at the apartment. I do have a couple last minute things to pack, but I'm also waiting for my parents to come to SF since we're leaving out of the SF airport. Okay, so I just got a call from my brother and they won't be here for another hour and 15 minutes. So I'm just gonna walk over to a local cafe and get some coffee. I got the goods. I ended up getting a Kona mocha. Okay, so I'm currently walking over to pick up our pizza. We got to Seattle pretty late, so we're just picking up something really easy and quick for a quick dinner. My dad's currently going to a small grocery store nearby to get some water while I wait for the pizza. So we spent the majority of the first day in Seattle at Pike Place Market. In the morning, we mainly roamed around the main portion of the market. We were just trying to get an overview of how the market looked like and take in all of the views. We really try to take our time when we were in Pike Place Market because we figured we wouldn't come back to the market again. We did end up doing a couple passes of the main building where all the flowers were, and for lunch we ended up stopping at Ivar's Fish Bar. This was a recommendation to us from a local. After my parents had a quick nap, we headed back to Pike Place, where I actually found a coffee store called Storyville Coffee, and my dad loved this place. He would not stop talking about the latte, and we ended the day with a 1-hour boat tour of downtown Seattle. Good morning. Happy Monday. Today's our second day of vacation, and we're planning on going to the Space Needle and the Glass Museum today. So we started off the day with the Space Needle. We were actually able to recognize a couple buildings in the view of the city since we did that 1-hour boat tour, including the 3 needles of the Queen Anne Hill area. We chilled at the Space Needle for a bit, but our favorite was I think you pronounce it Chihuly Glass Museum and Garden. It was absolutely beautiful in there. We of course had to find Chinatown to get some lunch. And my dad actually found Kinokuniya, which is a bookstore, and he was oddly excited that he found Kinokuniya. And after a little bit of rest, we ended up at the Starbucks Reserve. The next day, by my dad's own admission, was not a very well-planned day. We took a 3-hour ferry to Victoria for a day trip, and so we got there around 11, walked around a little bit, went to Chinatown, enjoyed the scenery, and we had to be back on the ferry back to Seattle by 5. So it's a short day trip. Once back in Seattle, we visited my cousin at the Amazon Sphere. He doesn't actually work inside the campus with the Sphere, but he showed us around, and then we made our way over to Vancouver. On our first night there, we stopped by the mall and we saw Muji, which I just had to stop into to buy some pens. On the first full day in Vancouver, we walked around the waterfront area. We went to Gastown. We went through Stanley Park a little bit. And then for dinner, we went to the Fisherman's Wharf where our Airbnb host recommended Timmy House. And for our last full day in Vancouver, it was my birthday, so we went to the Capilano Suspension Bridge Park, and it was so pretty in there. And we just spent a good couple hours in there. We luckily went early where it was still cool and it wasn't extremely crowded. We also walked around Granville Island a little bit because it was one of the destinations that was in a Chinese drama that my parents like. And we had my birthday dinner at Haidilao. Lao. Okay, so we are currently stopped at a rest stop, but we're on our way to Seattle. We're gonna pick up my cousin so we could go eat lunch with him and then go visit the University of Washington. That's like around that area. On the last day of vacation, we saw my cousin again, and he went with us to go walk around the University of Washington before we headed off to the airport.